Hey guys, it's Jim from Low Cost Water Softeners again. I'm doing a rebuild on a Fleck 5600. This is the back of it. It's real simple. You make sure that you put the water softener in bypass, and I've got it disconnected, but then you want to come over here and turn your knob just like that to make sure you take pressure off of it, and you can see how hard it was to turn. Not to mention, you can see that it's been leaking back here, and that means some seals are gone. So, and this is the automatic version. This is your little cable. Water comes in through this port, goes out through that port, and there's a little impeller in there. It spins, and it spins this cable, and it tells the water softener how many gallons have gone through it. So now that we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to remove this screw and these two screws right here and lift and pop this off. Sorry, I'm by myself today, and I'm usually by myself, but sometimes, what do I do with my, oh, here it is. So you can take your little wrench, not wrench, but screwdriver, the one that's got put the screws, the screwdriver bits themselves in. It's got the 5/16 and 1/4 inch. These work pretty good. So you'll see that it doesn't really take that long to do this. You just want to pay attention to some of the small parts, like there's a little washer right here, which is a retaining washer on that 1/4 inch. Sometimes these right here, if it's not long enough, will be a pain, but we're also going to remove the brine piston today. And I'm trying to go as fast as I can. I should have just brought my screw gun, because then I could zip this stuff off much faster. But, and so you just got to kind of wiggle like this, and I got to pull this out. Because if you don't pull it out here, it'll pull out here, and then you might get a little concerned. And I'm just going to lay this over because it's got the wires to the motor that look kind of, they might be okay, but well, let me see. Let me show you something here real quick too, to make sure that it's your motor. You're not going to be able to see it because it's not running, but sorry guys. Right, some of them have this little window, come on, right there. And if you can see your window, you'll see a red line that goes and comes and goes and comes, and that means your motor's running. Sometimes these will be all hung up, and it won't mean that you have a bad motor. It just means that the piston's not going, or there's a break in here. So if you see that going, then that means your timer's good. Plus, if you keep it plugged in and keep your time right, which in order to set your time, you press this red button, and you just turn this knob like this big one, sorry, like that, and like right now it's 10:30, so I put it on the 10. It's got a 10A, and then it's between the 10 and 11. Let it go. Sometimes it'll get kind of hung up like that, so if you just twist it till that red pops out, you'll be fine. Okay, and this over here is how many gallons until regeneration. This is a 1 cubic foot water softener. I don't know how hard their water is, but they have it set for every 800 gallons. And you just pull this white one out like this, and you turn it, or you hold the black one in the back, and then you just turn this to however many gallons you want. So I'm just going to set it on 1,000 because there's only 2 people that live here. And then now we've got 3 more screws. Now I'm going to show you something here as soon as I get these out. And there's a plate. And that's why I like the Fleck 5600 for the do-it-yourselfer, because in the description below, naturally, there's going to be a link to get the Fleck 5600 online at Amazon, and then there's going to be a link for the parts and I'll show you the parts in a second. You just got to remember how this came apart. I'm going to show you once again. When I said I show you something, okay, there are three screws and 2 screws. These 3 are the short screws, and the short screws go on the plate, and the 2 long screws go in the back to hold the valve, the timer body on top of the valve. So if you get confused, short people are on the bottom, tall people are on the top. And here's your plate, just slips on like that. And then you just take your piston and pull it out. Okay, this is a Teflon coated brass piston. The piston itself looks good. Usually you'll see some wear around. There's a little bit like right there, but usually you'll see some real good wear around the one spot of the piston, because all it does is go up and down. So it'll wear one spot of the piston and wear this Teflon coat off. This red stuff here is iron and calcium, and so really the pistons, in my opinion, is good. But since I bought a whole kit for the guy, and then you can reach your fingers in here. You can do, this is a seal, and here's a spacer, okay? And if you count them, there's seal, spacer, seal, then spacer, then seal, sometimes the spacers, because all the gook inside, it's built up. There we go. You just rub it up and down and work its way out because of the iron. That spacer, and then one more seal on the bottom, and these seals on the bottom get kind of stuck down there pretty well. And so if you've got water, if it gets stuck, if your cranker gets stuck, then your cranker, your handle, then usually this will be one of these seals, or seals will be torn. His is leaking for whatever reason, or was. The seals look okay, but I think he bought this house and it came with this water softener, and he said he's never used it. And I looked at the back of the water softener because I'm here to replace a pressure tank, and I had to reconfigure everything, and I said I can fix your water softener for you too. And he asked me about his water heater, the one that on demand, and I said, well, if there's a water softener in the house, there's a reason that there was a water softener in the house, because you have hard water, and they won't warranty your water heater if you don't have a water softener. And then this is the Brine Piston, which sometimes are a pain to get out. It's just a little spring, and so when it goes through the brine cycle, there's a little, what do you call it? A setting, and so this presses on the brine piston to let so much water into the brine tank. So like this says it's going to 9 pounds of salt, so it's going to allow that much water in there to dissolve 9 pounds of salt. By pressing this on, and water will go down this tube into the brine tank. Okay, now you have to pay attention. Right down here is supposed to be a little rubber ring, and it's missing because it's down inside there. You need to get some of these little picks. They're awesome. A little package. And then there's the ring. So, and that's the good thing. Now see, this one's pretty hard. That's the good thing about this package. This repair kit is it comes with everything you need, and I don't know why they threw a bunch of washers in there, different kinds, but not washers, but O-rings. These O-rings are great. I don't know why they're in there, but they're in there. So here's the new piston right here, and you just press that little O-ring on that lip there, like that. Because one of my vendors that's local that I used to buy from and kind of still do, they wouldn't. I had to buy that extra, so but this comes with the kit. And I just bought the kit, and I think the kit's like $47. It's really pretty good. Then here's your seals and spacers, all brand new in the package, and they're gonna be like a little gummy or stickies from lubricant, and that's okay. You can put not Vaseline, but a silicone lubricant on there if you like. I don't. And you just pack these back inside there. And sometimes they don't want to go, so you just gotta kind of force them. And you can stick your finger in there, and you can. Oh, there's a gap there. So I just take the bottom of a screwdriver, kind of pat it down, stick my finger there, and it felt okay. And then my seal spacer, I may not have pressed it down far enough, because it looks like it's not going to be enough room. It's not. Okay, so let me see how many I took out. I took out 1, 2, 3, and I've already put in 3. Well, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the reason there's more in the kit than, or at least I think the reason is, this is a very old valve. They don't make brass valves anymore. They're all like a plastic. So when you get that, if you've got the old style, it's going to be short, a shorter valve. If you have the newer Fleck, it's gonna be a little taller. Okay, so, and then here's the piston. One thing to note, you see there's a hole in the bottom, and you see there's a hole in the bottom. That means they're water softener pistons. If they were water filter pistons, usually there's a black plug screwed into here. Okay, and you can really use a water filter piston also. It doesn't really make a difference. It's just a matter of backwash gallons per minute. So this allows for less gallons per minute, and a filter has allowed, because that plug's there, gets more gallons per minute, because a filter has to lift the whole bed and push everything out, where a water softener does the same thing, but it's not as critical as it is for a water filter. So then we just press that down there. There's my plate. Trying to hurry for the sake of the video, so you guys aren't watching, video forever and ever. But remember, short screws on the bottom, because short people are closer to the ground than tall people, and tall screws on the top. You can always refer back to this video, and there's other videos out there to show you how to do this. And let me see, there's a video time. Oh, so far it's taken 14 minutes. So as you can see, I'd have to do some explaining, but it really probably only takes about 5 to 10 minutes to change this out, because I'm just going through and giving you guys some pointers. I'm burning the clock. And you'll want to make sure they're tight. and look, check to make sure. Normally when you've got them and you turn the water on, if it's not tight and you didn't notice, water's going to spew out of here. Just put it back in bypass, crank them down, and then it'll be good. So this is the next most frustrating part right here, is you've got to use this at an angle. There's because there's a little on your plate, I didn't show you, there's a little hook there. The hook's on the, put it up on top, it hooks into the bottom, and then it's kind of seats itself. I hope this is helping you guys who are, you know, do-it-yourselfers and you're trying to figure out which water softener you should buy. I always recommend this over the SXT. The SXT is just the digital version, and some companies set theirs up for them only, and so you can't jack with their the digital settings because there's a code to get in, or they've got it rigged up a certain way. No codes, nothing rigged. It's you see what you get. Or like some people say, it is what it is. And that's the way I like it for folks like you. And then see, my piston's not set up on my cam, so I just push it down till it pops in there. And it doesn't make a difference where it's at on the front, because once we get this on there. Now sometimes if it doesn't work, it's hard to show, but I'll see if I can get it in there so you guys can see it. If the piston moves freely, but it's not going through cycles and the clock is working, see how much easier that runs now? Just nice and no sticking or anything. I don't know if you can see this. I'm gonna see if I can help. Let me get my screwdriver. Right here, let's see, can you see it? I'm probably messing up this video, but right here you can see where there's a break. There's supposed to be, but sometimes this tooth right up here, this whole piece will break off, and when that happens, the water, this other what do you call it? You know what I'm talking about. Brain's not working right. Can't catch it. The teeth from the other deal can't catch it, and then bring it into the cycle that it's supposed to be in. So you'll have to get a new cam, and that's easy. In the front there's usually a little strip. You just peel this strip off right here. There's a screw in there. Take your screw out. You got to be careful because once this comes apart, there's a couple of ball bearings and a spring in there, but and that's how you fix that piece down there. If someone ever tells you, hey, you need a new water softener, you've got a Fleck 5600, watch my video, ask a question, because 9 times out of 10, I want to say like 99.99999999999 times out of 10, you don't ever need a new water softener. They just need to be rebuilt. All right, so I'll unplug this in and get it back ready for the customer. Hope this helps. If you'd like to give us a thumbs up, don't be afraid to ask questions. Share the video. That helps other people get this information. Once again, in the description, you're going to get the link to the rebuild kit and a link to the Fleck 5600. So this is why I like them. They're down and dirty, nice and easy, especially for the do-it-yourselfer. You don't have to hire some guy who's going to charge you a ton of money to come out and replace this for you or tell you need a new water softener. Okay? Thanks, guys. Have a great day.